Because this Alicia Keys, LaLa Anthony, and Swizz Beatz mess, it's deeper than just a leaked tape. It's a decade-long saga full of twists, betrayals.
What if I told you that one leaked tape could shake marriages, destroy friendships, and flip Hollywood upside down? Yes, you heard that right. A single recording has sparked whispers so loud, they've turned into screams across the internet. At the center of it all, super producer Swizz Beatz, global icon Alicia Keys, TV star LaLa Anthony, and NBA legend Carmelo Anthony. This isn't just another celebrity rumor. No, this one digs deep into trust, loyalty, and betrayal. We're talking about friendships that looked unbreakable, love stories that seemed untouchable, and reputations built over decades now standing on the edge of collapse.
Over this Alicia Keys Swizzy scandal, because word on the streets is that this private tape just leaked, allegedly catching Swizzy and LaLa getting way too close.
Fans are asking, did Swizz and LaLa really cross the line? How much did Melo know? And where does this leave Alicia, the woman whose music has always carried messages of strength and truth? This is the kind of scandal that doesn't just live in the headlines. It lives in the shadows of every decision these four make from here on. So grab your seat, because we're about to unpack a story of love, lies, and the fallout that could change everything. The tape that shook the streets. What's happening YouTube? Today, we're dissecting the story that has the whole internet buzzing. Rumors say a secret tape has dropped, and it might just be the biggest scandal of the year. According to the streets, this tape doesn't show just anybody. It allegedly shows music producer Swizz Beatz and actress LaLa Anthony way too close for comfort. And here's where it gets even crazier. Swizz is married to superstar Alicia Keys. Word is, the second Alicia found out, she completely lost it. No calm conversations, no quiet talk, just pure fire.
In love with each other.
The internet is spinning after a leaked tape just exploded on the scene, allegedly exposing Swizz Beatz getting much too close with LaLa Anthony, while Alicia Keys, his wife, was left completely.
Now, we all know Alicia has worked for years to keep up that picture-perfect image of love and family. She's posted the vacations, the anniversary tributes, and the happily ever after vibes. But if this rumor is true, that whole story might be falling apart right in front of us. And here's the twist. People are saying this didn't come out of nowhere. Whispers about Swizz and LaLa have been floating around for years. So could this tape be the proof Alicia's been pushing aside all this time? The drama only gets hotter when you think about timing. Why would this leak now? Who wanted this story out in the open? Was it someone from Swizz's team? And let me ask you this. If Alicia really believes this tape is real, is she finally ready to pull the plug on her marriage? Fans online are already taking sides. Some say, once a cheater, always a cheater, pointing at Swizz's messy past. Others say it's all just gossip until we see clear proof. But either way, the internet isn't letting this one slide. So here we are, one tape, one rumor, and one marriage that might never look the same again. Is this the end of the fairy tale Alicia tried to protect for so long? Or just another case of social media blowing things out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're following the drama, and don't forget to subscribe, because this story is only getting started. Years of whispers turn real. If you thought the tape rumor was wild, wait until you hear this. Because according to insiders, this whole situation between Swizz Beatz and LaLa Anthony didn't just start yesterday. No, the streets are saying this thing has been going on for years. Think about that. Years of late night whispers, secret looks, and hidden meetups, all behind the glittery smiles we see on red carpets and Instagram posts. Swizz showing up as the supportive husband, LaLa smiling as the loyal friend. And yet, under all that shine, a darker story might have been playing out. Now here's where it gets messy. People close to the scene claim that every time LaLa had trouble in her marriage with Carmelo Anthony, Swizz was right there to comfort her. But was it really comfort, or was it something much deeper? What do you think? Were these just innocent friendships, or were they crossing lines all along? And let's be real. Hollywood has a long history of hiding secrets. Smiles for the cameras, tears behind closed doors. The question is, how many times did Alicia Keys hear these whispers and brush them off as gossip? Or did she already know, deep down, that her husband's loyalty wasn't always locked in? Fans online are starting to piece things together. They're digging up old photos, old interviews, even little social media moments where Swizz and LaLa seemed a bit too close. You know the internet doesn't miss a thing. But here's the kicker. Some insiders say Alicia's friends had been warning her for years. If that's true, why didn't she act sooner? Was it love that blinded her, Or was it the pressure of keeping up her picture-perfect marriage? And here's the real question. If this has been going on for years, how many people were in on the secret? Because if the streets are right, then this wasn't just a one-night slip. This was a storyline being played out in private while the public believes something completely different. So now we've got to ask, if the whispers have turned real, how long can Swizz and LaLa keep denying it? Stay locked in, because this story is only getting juicier. And trust me, the next twist will leave you speechless. LaLa, Melo, and the hidden triangle. All right, fam, the plot just got deeper. We've already talked about the tape and the whispers, but now let's bring in the third corner of this triangle, Carmelo Anthony, LaLa's ex-husband. For years, LaLa and Melo's marriage was a roller coaster. Breakups, makeups, and constant headlines about his own cheating scandals. The public saw the drama, but what if there was more going on behind the scenes? Insiders claim that during the stormy chapters of her marriage, LaLa wasn't just leaning on girlfriends for support. No, she was leaning on Swizz Beatz. He became the so-called safe space, someone who understood the spotlight, the chaos, and the pain of messy relationships. But here's where things start to feel less like comfort and more like betrayal. Was LaLa really confiding in a friend, or was she building something with Swizz while still tied to Melo? Now think about how messy this really gets. On one side, you've got Melo dealing with his own cheating accusations. On the other side, you've got LaLa possibly connecting with another married man. And in the middle of it all is Alicia Keys, who was probably blindsided by a friendship she thought was harmless. The streets are talking, and some fans believe Melo always suspected something wasn't right. Could this explain some of the tension that ended their marriage for good? If that's true, then Melo wasn't just fighting his own battles. He was caught in a hidden triangle he couldn't escape. But here's the burning question. If Melo knew about LaLa and Swizz, why didn't he ever speak out? Was it silence to protect his image, or silence because he couldn't prove it? And let's not forget, Melo and Swizz were cool at one point. They ran in the same celebrity circles, showing up at events and even hanging out. Imagine finding out your friend was the one getting close to your wife. That's betrayal on a whole different level. So we have to ask, was this triangle really about love, or was it about ego, revenge, and filling the gaps in broken relationships? What started as whispers has now tangled three big names in a web of suspicion. And if the rumors are true, this isn't just drama, it's heartbreak multiplied. Stay tuned, because this triangle might not be the end of the story. It could just be the beginning, Alicia's breaking point. All right, family, let's shift the spotlight. Because while everyone's buzzing about Swizz Beatz and LaLa Anthony, there's one person at the center of all this who's carrying the heaviest weight, Alicia Keys. For years, Alicia has been the picture of calm, the soulful queen, the Grammy-winning star, the wife who stood by her man through thick and thin. But behind those graceful smiles, insiders say things have been boiling. And now, with the tape and the whispers coming alive, Alicia's cool exterior may finally be cracking. Close friends are whispering that this isn't the first time Alicia has heard about Swizz and LaLa. Rumors had floated her way before, but she brushed them off. Maybe it was love. Maybe it was denial. Maybe she simply didn't want to believe that her marriage, the one she fought so hard to protect, was slowly being chipped away. But now that the noise is louder than ever, can Alicia really keep ignoring it? Or has she finally hit her breaking point? Think about it. Alicia has built her whole brand on love, empowerment, and loyalty. Her songs are anthems of trust and truth. Imagine how it feels to stand on stage singing about unshakable love, while backstage, you're questioning your husband's every move. That kind of pressure isn't just painful, it's crushing. And here's what we have to wonder. If Alicia decides she's done, what happens next? Will she walk away from Swizz, or will she fight to hold her marriage together despite the storm? Let's not forget, Alicia isn't just a wife, she's a mother. Every decision she makes ripples through her family. The kids, the image, the legacy. Walking away wouldn't be simple, but staying in a marriage that feels broken could be even harder. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Alicia Keys standing at the edge of her breaking point, or is she strong enough to turn all this pain into power? One thing's for sure, the world is watching. And whatever Alicia does next might just change everything we thought we knew about love, loyalty, and survival in the spotlight. The fallout, friendships, careers, and broken trust. When the smoke of a scandal rises this high, the fallout doesn't just stay inside the home, it spreads into careers, friendships, and entire reputations. And that's exactly what we're seeing with this messy triangle between Swizz Beatz, LaLa Anthony, Carmelo Anthony, and Alicia Keys. Let's start with the friendships. Swizz and Melo were cool. They shared laughs, posed at events, and even supported each other publicly. If the whispers are true, That bond is shattered forever. Because how do you face a man you once called a brother when you might have been stepping too close to his wife? That's a scar that doesn't fade easy. Now let's talk careers. Swizz has built his name as a hitmaker, a mogul, and Alicia's partner in power moves. But scandal sticks, and the music industry doesn't forget. With fans questioning his loyalty, could this mess put cracks in his brand? And what about LaLa, an actress, a TV personality, someone always in the spotlight? If people see her as the reason Alicia's heart broke, will that dim her star? The reality is, in Hollywood, your personal life and professional life are tied together like chains. One wrong move off stage can ruin everything on stage. But here's the twist. What if some people actually use this scandal to gain more fame? Could LaLa spin the spotlight into sympathy or even opportunity? And then there's trust. For Alicia, the fallout isn't just about her husband. It's about every friendship, every business partner, every handshake, who knew what, and who kept secrets from her. Once trust is broken at this level, rebuilding it isn't just hard, it can feel impossible. Will this fallout end with broken friendships and lost careers, or will it spark a reinvention for everyone involved? At the end of the day, scandals don't just expose relationships, they reshape futures. And this fallout might be the turning point that rewrites the story of Swizz, LaLa, Melo, and Alicia forever. What's next, rebuilding or ruin? So here we are. The smoke is thick, the whispers are loud, and the world is waiting to see what happens next in this tangled drama. Alicia Keys, Swizz Beatz, LaLa Anthony, and Carmelo Anthony. 4 names tied together in a storm of love, betrayal, and broken trust. But the real question is, where do they go from here? For Alicia, the path ahead looks heavy. Does she stay and try to rebuild her marriage, or does she walk away and protect her peace? Alicia has always been about strength and grace, but even the strongest hearts have limits. If she chooses to fight for her family, the public will watch every move, every word, every song for signs of forgiveness. If she leaves, she'll set off shockwaves that may redefine her legacy. And here's the first question. Is Alicia willing to sacrifice her happiness to save her image, or will she risk it all to live her truth? Swizz Beatz now stands at a crossroads too. His empire, his reputation, even his fatherhood, everything hangs in the balance. If he fights to win Alicia back, will the world believe him, or has the damage gone too far to undo? This is the kind of scandal that can either destroy a man's career or force him to rise stronger, proving everyone wrong. Then we have LaLa Anthony. Once loved as the bubbly, unshakable star, she's now painted into the corner of being the other woman. But Hollywood has a way of flipping the script. Could LaLa rebrand herself, turning pain into power and scandal into survival? Or will this be the shadow that follows her for years? And that brings us to Carmelo Anthony, a man who's had his own share of headlines, but this one cuts deeper. Can Melo rebuild his pride after the whispers about his wife? Will he stand tall and move on? Or will he secretly fight to set the record straight? Because at the end of the day, scandals fade, but choices last forever. And the choices these 4 make in the coming months might not just define their personal lives, but their careers, their families, and the way the world remembers them.